Hey everyone, Dom here at Red Leaf Exotics. I've been so busy in the greenhouses with loving the Nepenthes, but today's video is going to be on the outdoor bog gardens. We're going to look at Sarracenia. They're looking so beautiful. And I've also been really busy in our outdoor gardens, which if you love other kind of gardening and farm life, check out at Red Leaf Ranch. That's my partner's page. It's so fun to get into that. But let's check out some beautiful carnivorous plants and take a tour of the bog gardens. So it's been like a few months, I guess, since we did a bog garden tour, but everything looks pretty good. We've had so much rain, it's just beat everything up, and now fall is coming, and you could see the shift in the plants. You're not going to hear me rattle names off as much as you do Nepenthes, but let's just enjoy how beautiful they are and get you guys excited about growing carnivorous plants. You know, I think that if you want to grow any carnivorous plants, it's the Venus flytraps and the Sarracenia that are a nice gateway, and then you start getting into those slightly more demanding Nepenthes. But let's look at them. You could see these B52 flytraps here. They're huge. I'm assuming since it's cool out, their response might be a little slower, but let's see here. They close a little slower when the weather's cool, but they look awesome. And every year these come back, and they're just planted. I made this table out of old barn wood. I lined it with plastic. And I made a little slit about 1 inch down so that any excess water can kind of drain out the top, but it does hold a lot of water. It's always moist and wet, and these love it. It is pure peat moss with some sand and perlite. Honestly, you can probably literally just do pure peat moss. I've grown purpureas in a garbage bag in my backyard with just peat moss, and they grew beautiful for many years. Sometimes just don't overcomplicate it, but you could see everything looks really good. This is great. Love that. I crossed this one with Ellie Wang. Did we get some good visuals of this? Oh my God, it's beautiful. This is, let's see, I'll read the, oh, it's Prometheus cross Purple Lips. You can really see the leucophila in it. Gives that bright kind of windows, and look at the speckling up it. This is beautiful. It's the leucophila time of year. You're gonna start seeing all the bright white pictures starting to come out with the cooler weather. You could see all the fly traps in here. We have some pinguiculas. Got those from my friend Conrad. Thank you, Conrad. Love bog garden gifts from Conrad. Look at all these fly traps. These ones are baby beefcakes. I got these from one of our carnivorous plant friends, Carson, and they have just spread everywhere. Usually I like to come along in the fall, actually, and separate them all out and just pull them apart and just plant them right beside and make bigger and bigger clumps. And that's how I've been just kind of propagating and multiplying them. These little seedlings over here have really grown. They were so small. These are Purpurea cross leucophila cross Purpurea. So what I was hoping for is a purpurea that looks like a leucophila in color, I guess, that white. But we'll see as they mature. So far, they're all very dark. A new addition that's kind of boggy, but there's some Sarracenia over here that kind of reverted. But I made this pond. Yeah, I had some old EP styrofoam boxes. I just barricaded it in with, you know, just wood that we had around the property and bricks and just whatever. And there's fish in here and tadpoles, some cool water plants. But I really needed some instant water gratification, and this did it for me. It's really beautiful, and I love the sound. So here is just another random bed. This is the furthest one, and you could see everything's looking awesome. I'm loving this. Just the, you know, the veins and all the trumpets it holds. And what is this one? Oh God, I forget what's in it. berry pastry cross king cobra. Took me a minute there, guys. But beautiful. I like how many pictures it carries. But you could see the rain just has everything kind of plunked down. This is hot lips crossed with berry pastry. It's a beautiful plant. I'll probably take it out of the collection. I'm really trying to refine everything, especially with all the seedlings growing out, and just keep the very best of the best for breeding or just making great divisions of. This one's beautiful here. And if you look at on the top of it, you can see how beautiful the lid patterns are. Look how intense the veins are. It's really, really pretty. It's one feature about Sarracenia that's great. All that veining and... What is this? I don't even know. But beautiful pictures on this. I'm getting my Sarracenia names down. I feel like you guys know me. I'm just a Nepenthes freak. Love Sarracenia, but Nepenthes. This one's beautiful here on the corner. What do we got? Hot lips crossed with berry pastry. The sun is coming out. It's been really, you know, Tennessee, you never know what you're going to get. But the days have been very rainy. Today's actually been one of the sunnier days, which is really nice. What do we got here? We got some purpureas in all green. Got a nice one here. This one's Var Montana. I like these bog Cheetos, another gift from Conrad. Really brighten up. I like some nice bog flowers, they brighten it up. Sphagnum is starting to naturally take over. We love that. You can see it down here. This is a more red type. It's just starting to take off. You could see this is plunked over. This is a potty mouth. The rain really just has them beat up. So with these beds, I'll make this like a dual video. You know, if you're getting into fly traps and Sarracenia, they really prefer to be in a bigger bed that's deeper, you know, not in a little pot for winter that's harder to, you know, insulate and freeze all from all angles. You really want to keep them in a nice, you know, big bed. This is probably a foot or more deep, and it's always moist to wet. I lived in Pennsylvania in Zone 5, and it's pretty cold there in the winter, and my fly traps came back every single year in this kind of situation. When you have them above ground and in pots, things change a little bit. So I always suggest making a big bog garden, and these are so much easier to care for in the end than like a little pot that needs so much watering attention. So a big bed, make a square frame, put that pond liner in there, and fill it with peat. And I would add a little bit of sand, get a little gritty. And then maybe above the liner, make some holes so you could have that drainage. I do see some of my friends putting, you know, a pipe down in there, and you could monitor the water level. I've just never done it. I just kind of always by sight in the dead of summer, if it needs water, I can tell, but pretty much self-sustaining once you get the hang of them. There's another little pot right here. You can get these right at Lowe's. This is just a little tub liner inside of these barrels. Again, with the same potting mix. And there's some minors. Look at this. Ooh, wasp. They kind of freak me out, but they're not here to hurt me, even though they do seem confrontational. But you could see there's a nice minor. That one's a giant. And then behind it, we have that flava, which is from Mike Wang. It's an improved veins, and it is so beautiful. The spring pictures on the flavas are really, you see me freak out. The spring pictures are really best on the flavas, and then, you know, toward the fall is really when those leucophilas really start putting on their pictures. So I don't expect them to look their greatest. Oh God. Ah! Yes, I just ran off and screamed like a little girl. We'll look at some fly traps in this pot too. This one is huge. I think this is a B52 The name tags just get devoured at this point, but really big traps. Oh, there it goes. And speaking of that, I like showing you guys that, but you should never really close all your traps with your fingers. You know, that takes energy for the plant. Definitely save those jaws for something that it's going to use and benefit from. Although it's so fun. I mean, it's kind of fun to just sit here and poke every trap, but the plants will get tired and, you know, we don't want that. I popped on over to this makeshift reservoir. I have a lot of the Purpurea varvinosa in here and Judith Hindle, and these are really easy beginner plants, and that's mainly why I grow them, to get people into this fun hobby. They're really easy. They're fun for kids, you know, to grow, like in the setup I showed you. And this one, Judith Hindle, you know, gives you a little more fancy look, especially when they start turning, you know, this bright white color. And these can get some pretty nice sized traps too. And you could see the leucophila in them, that bright white window. And they look good in the fall. They're loving the cool weather. Oh, a honeybee. But yeah, the Purpureas, they look great. They look like little hedges. There's so many little mouths here. And the color on them is beautiful. Venosa can also, I'd say, be grown indoors a little more successfully than others. They are more of a southern pitcher plant. So, you know, I know growers that do these under lights in a saucer of water indoors, like, they look fine. The biggest thing is light. In the wild, sometimes these plants can grow in shadier conditions, but in cultivation, you know, they really want to be in at least 6 hours of full sun to get this beautiful coloration and veining and just to be really healthy. Sarracenia do love sunshine. And yeah, if you could provide them with good light indoors and water, I'd say it's worth a shot if you really need to have this kind of look in your home. But I would say, you know, Nepenthes are more of the indoor type plant. Over here, I have some fly traps I grew from open pollination. There's some really interesting textures and shapes going on. I really like these two, all their kind of sawtooth look. Really nice. I would like some more color. These are not in the fullest of sun though, but they still look pretty good. You could see this one here. I like this one, that this one has very intense coloration inside. And you know, these, you could see, these are just sitting in water. They love being moist to wet. They love it. Now, if you're gonna get a Venus flytrap and put it inside and keep it moist to wet and you're not gonna give it proper light and temperature, it's just gonna rot and die. It's a different ball game. You're really gonna want an extremely strong light, I would say, to keep these nice and bright and healthy inside. The Venus flytraps love sunshine too. In the wild, you know, they're growing down in the grasses and stuff and they could have a little more shade, but the wild's always a different ball game. This one's cool. The teeth are kind of, I guess again, kind of fan shaped. There's many teeth. Really neat. It's fun to think of the cultivars that could come out of the seed grown ones, and it's what a lot of growers are doing today. They're coming up with some really bizarre looking fly traps. And it's just really fun to play around with that. Over here, I have I have these planters all around the garden. And these have some nice leucophilas in them. This is a nice all green. This one has beautiful color. I love this species, it's great. Look at how big this Drosera filiformis is. It's huge. Now, I would say these are probably zone 7 and above. That's what we are, maybe 6, I'm not sure, but I don't think I was able to grow these outdoors in Pennsylvania. But beautiful here in Tennessee, and they come back every year, and they divide a lot. Here's a favorite, the Brunswick Beauty. Purpurea var Brunswick Beauty, beautiful. We have a Sarracenia down here. This probably wants a more wet situation, but it looks cute, it looks cute. What is this one? Pinguicula planifolia. Got this, another one from Conrad. He grows them right underwater, just like in the wild, and they look amazing. I just threw it out here. It's doing good, but maybe it wants that being submerged, because in their native habitat, they are partially or fully submerged during a big part of the year. So maybe it wants to be drowned. I'm not sure, but it is growing. over this side, get a load of this one. I think this is Leucophila Hurricane Creek White. Yes, Clone F from Baldwin, Baldwin County, Alabama. And this is from Mike Wang. He has some beautiful, some of the best, cultivars, species cultivars and Sarracenia there are. They're beautiful. And I love this one. The first one that I showed in the beginning of the video is definitely my favorite, I think. But this trap-in picture is just huge. This one in the back here is a Flava ornata or ornata crossed with Rubra corpora. Beautiful veiny red pitchers. Another one that looks really good in the spring, the Flava types. This bed looks like a hurricane hit it. Flava Georgia Giant has tumbled. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And the rain has filled these up so much that they just tumble over like this. But honestly, the thing I love about this kind of display here is once fall really hits and all the leaves are gone, the Sarracenia still really look good, and it looks like a beautiful dried arrangement. Normally, you go ahead and you cut everything back. I don't cut everything back until kind of early spring, right before the growth starts, so I don't snip anything new. And clean it up then. I love seeing the texture and the structure of the pictures throughout the depression of winter depression. There's some cool things in here that were not in here before that I'll show you in the back, but we'll take a look at what's out here. I think this one here is Redman. I could be, yes, it is. I was going to say I could be lying. But beautiful. Get a load of this one across. Look at the color on this. And hi, Chloe, we love you. Yes, we know, we love you. And these are just beautiful, beautiful coloration. I like that dusty interior in the throat. Kind of like a blueberry. That frostiness. What else? Oh, Adrian Slack. This is just all over the place. Oh wow, it's probably ready to be divided. There's so many pictures, but really bright, contrasty pictures on this. This was beautiful this year. It's all crowded out now, but this is a stargrass. I forget the scientific name, but we got this from Tennessee Naturescapes. Our friends Suru and Richard work there, and it's beautiful what they've done, and we love this plant. It gets beautiful flowers. I should have cut a video in the spring, but life just sucks you up here in the plant world. And I'll show you guys next year when it does get its beautiful flowers, but love that plant. These are an awesome native, more southeast United States, Lilium Catesbii. Look at how awesome these are. So you wouldn't know this necessarily because I'm always doing carnivorous plant videos, but I am a freak outdoor gardener, and lilies, the Lilium family, has been an obsession for many years. And to grow this one, I've never grown it. It is so, it feels so nice. It's so beautiful to just look at. And there were a lot of them. Really so happy to just have one of these in the collection and enjoy them, especially being a native. How awesome is that? And they grow right with the Sarracenia in the sandy, wet soil, peatiness, bog. They love it. I'm not sure, but I would say for this lily, I just feel like it's a warmer one, zone 7 and above. 6, maybe. 6 is an interesting zone. It's kind of like you could get away with it or not. But 7, they're really hardy. We have Prometheus back here. This one's always just so tough. I think last year this one had perfect pictures all the way through December. I was like, whoa, how strong is that? Nothing brought it down. This is the final bed we'll do today, and it's the last one. So you could see the weeds taking over. It has been raining so much, it's like the jungle's growing at us. And it looks like a jungle in here, but a lot of these look beautiful. Really, I love this section right here. So many bright whites and veins, and I just went through, and I forget the scientific name, but it's called bog beauty, and it gets pink flowers. You could see it all here, the seed heads. There's a flower there. Oh, here's a good flower. So you know what I'm talking about. It is more like a bog hog. You could see all the ground cover. It just took the whole bog over. And the thing that's nice about it is that it fills the space in between the pitchers, the Sarracenia, and it gives them support when the wind is blowing so the pitchers don't break over. But I had to come through yesterday and just clean this up a little so you guys can see the pitchers and not all the green stuff growing around them. I love these. I forget this one. There might be a name tag. Prometheus Cross Adrian Slack. Look how it's just so, it makes me happy, this one. The color, the color's just, it's so bright and it almost glows, and there's so many pictures. It just has such beautiful color. Something about it's so unique compared to many Sarracenia that almost try to look like it. It just, I really like this one. It is really one of my favorites. This one next to it reminds me of some kind of reptile. This one is something King Cobra. I know it has that King Cobra look to it. I don't know if we're going to find its tag. I don't think we are. No, we're not. But I think it's the same as the one I showed you up front. Look how cool those pictures are. It's a really pretty plant and so prolific in picturing. Look at all of them. I'm really excited to get a polytunnel just for Sarracenia eventually, just so they don't have the harsh, extra harsh elements, you know, beating them up, and we could keep them a little more pristine. But in time, the Nepenthes get like the majority of the love. What do we got here? I'm not sure, but beautiful. You could see the leucophila in it. Back here is, I don't know if this is a pure Alata or if it's a minor. I don't think it's a minor hybrid. I'm not sure. Maybe an Alata hybrid or Alata. I can't tell. But it's very robust. It gets a nice dark picture. That wasp is like, don't come for me. Or hornet. Mud dabber, I think they're called. Look at it. Oh my god, it's coming for me. But this is beautiful. It's very robust and it's very tall. And that's why it kind of kept it here in the collection. But yeah, that's about it for the bog gardens. If you want to get into carnivorous plants and you're like Nepenthes, Venus flytraps, whatever, Brian just got I just saw that attack you. Oh, it's coming. I told you they come for you. But if you want to get into this, start with Venus flytraps and some pitcher plants. Make a bog garden. Even if you're in zone 5, I grew flavas outside. Purpurea's so easy. Venus flytraps came back. Try, experiment, but wet, moist feet all the time is really key. Good clean water, plenty of sunshine, and you should be able to be very successful with these plants that are so beautiful. Trust me, when people come over and they see this, there's nothing like it. You just don't see it that much, and it's really cool to just look at them and kind of connect. They're beautiful plants. But I'm Dom here at Redleaf Exotics. My Nepenthes freaks, next week's video, or maybe sooner, just to get you guys a beautiful video. We'll do something on Nepenthes, but I'll see you when I see you next, and thank you guys always for tuning in. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.